everyone. You can see me. Can you hear me? Oh, hold on one sec. Okay. Now you should be able to hear me a little bit better, right? Okay. And I'm also going to adjust the volume on this. All right. Very cool. Okay. So it looks like we are officially live. It's been a whole week. I mean, there's a lot to catch up on. Actually, a lot has happened in the past week for me that I probably am gonna want to talk about it or vent about it a little bit, because it's just been such a week. I've constantly been thinking about my Etsy shop and just, I mean, I was so busy and I got really slammed and everything like that, but it was awesome. I had a lot of orders, everything like that, but we're putting a kibosh on the whole fan art thing, you know. Understandably, I can't really be doing that on Etsy anymore as a platform if I want to stay on there. So, along with my rebrand, I figured this is actually perfect timing for what is going on. So I'm actually going to be changing everything up. My Etsy is not only going to have a name change, it's pretty much going to have like an entire rebranding. All of the fan art, everything that was on there, it's gone. I've deleted it. It's zero. There is none. After like, I don't even know how many favorites. I had so many favorites. I didn't even keep track of that, but I had like dozens of thousands of favorites. I'm not even joking. It's just, I had a lot of people who really supported my fan creations, and so it kind of made my heart drop a little bit when when I you know, had to take everything down. So, but I understand it. I really do. And, you know, I figured this day would come anyways. It gives me the perfect opportunity to rebrand and put, like, my dragon art exclusively, my my dragon and my fantasy creations up on my Etsy, and so it'll kind of serve as a way to kind of implement that stuff on my shop with a purpose, and I think it'll go over really well. I hope so. I'm not sure if people will unfollow. If they do, then oh well, I guess, right? What are you gonna do? But I have, I'm still making my old creations, my old fan creations. I've just kind of moved things around a little bit. And over here, you'll see the Sun Lion talk about it. So if you actually go to that link that he is talking about right now, bit.ly/Altia-info, you'll see everything. I've provided all of the info that you would need to know. If you are even interested in that kind of thing, if you're not, then cool, that's perfectly cool. We are just, you know, we're painting tonight. We're doing some digital painting on Jingle keys once again. So it's gonna be another fun night of Jingle keys. And then it's going to be a pretty short night, but I think I'm going to get back on my old schedule pretty much after this session here. I might actually not be on Sunday, but actually I can't because my husband will be working anyways. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays, most Sundays, we'll probably be back on that schedule once again because I don't have everything else like hogging up my time, so I'm really gonna just enjoy streaming. Yeah, so that's exciting. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of changes that are gonna be made, and it might be disappointing to some. And if it is, I'm really sorry. I'm just trying to do my best to stay afloat and do this rebranding thing properly and stay on the Etsy platform because I do enjoy it. I actually really do enjoy Etsy. Sometimes, you know, I might like, you know, complain about some of their changes and some of the stuff that that they do, but they're actually pretty good platform for selling handmade. So, and honestly, they are pretty affordable in what they do and everything. Also, I noticed Narmaya underscore 07, so Narmaya 07. I got a follow from you, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That was, I imagine, probably a business card one. And that also means that we are 6 followers away from a giveaway, so that'll be fun. That's something to look forward to. I'm pretty excited about that. Alright, so let's zoom back in here, and we are back on Jingle Keys. So I was kind of thinking, I'm just gonna probably, like, I don't know, I'm gonna be all over the place tonight on what I'm working on, but I kind of almost want to do like shrubs over here. Like just shrubs and foliage. Oh, that would be so much fun. A little botany, leaves and foliage. It'll be cool. Alright, so maybe I should go 70 something, 70%. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking like I almost want to do maybe what I should do is I should do like thumbnail view and then paint out just kind of like the basic shapes, and then I can go in and work on details zoomed in. So I think that's probably going to go over a little bit better. We're just gonna zoom in here. It's gonna be another 2-hour night, so I started 1 hour later than normal. That probably also means that most people probably aren't going to really be up, and that's okay. That's totally alright. I'm kind of like in a lull right now when it comes to the whole live streaming thing, and it's not out of disinterest at all. It's just out of time being kind of stretched thin. My free time is, for the most part, spent with my family, my daughter, my husband, and that stuff is really important to me. I feel like the places that I could cut away my time sometimes is literally just like time away from my daughter, time away from my husband, or time for sleep. And so I don't ever rip away time from either of them. So it's either my sleep or really my sleep. I never take away time to spend with my family because they're really important to me. Getting time out of every single day with them it's above everything else that I do. Even if it's just a little bit, like even if I can only really get a little bit of time, it's honestly just so important to me that I get to spend time with them. Okay, so we're gonna like do some shrubs right here. That's gonna be kind of fun. We're gonna, it's brother, there's Prospero, hello. All right, so I haven't gotten the audio like kind of fixed up and set up, and that's kind of why we're not doing the, we're not doing the Discord call talk, because we had a bit of an echo before. I went back and I listened to the VOD, and it's there. Like, the echo is there. It might not really be terribly noticeable, because it almost like fades into the background, but it's like, it's noticeable enough for me that I'm just like, I don't know. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to set up Bluetooth on my desktop computer. And then after I do that, then I can probably hook up just my Bluetooth earbuds to my computer. And then it should just route everything through my ears so that there's no feedback. And that would be good. That would be ideal, right? Yeah, so we're making progress. We're going to be making progress on this thing tonight, and which is really exciting because I have to I have to make this brush a little bit smaller here. No problem. I don't mind lurking in chat. Thank you, brother. I mean, it's not that, like, I actually really liked talking to you, and I thought that that was really awesome, and I want to be able to do it, but I want to do it right, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't want it to sound, like, all bad, and, like, I don't want it to, I don't know. I don't want it to sound bad. And also, I probably should have also like messaged you first, which I didn't do this time around because honestly, I just kind of wasn't really thinking much about it. My mind's kind of been on a lot of things lately. And so I'm just a little bit of a scatterbrained person right now. But it's not because I don't want to. It's because... And we should do it next time. It would be really good. But that would be on a Tuesday if you're up for it. That'd be on Tuesday. So just let me know. And if you're not, that's totally cool too. Do your thing if it's not what you're wanting to do. Look at the shrubbies. Okay, so they're not separated yet. So it's all just kind of like a green mush right now. But that's kind of like the general shape. Alrighty, so let's grab this color that we are using, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make it, we're gonna bring it into a little bit more yellow, desaturate it a little bit, bring it up to probably something that looks like this. If it'll work. There we go. I'm gonna have to undo on that one once it loads. Shane's wanting to get a new computer for gaming, like a gaming PC. It's making me really think about like possibly switching out the processor and stuff on this one. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do all that yet, but it might be important if I'm gonna be doing this live streaming thing, just because, you know, like, I don't know, it's just not, it might not be good. But this is kind of the yeah, this is kind of the color that I was looking at, but it's just like so slow. I've closed everything else and my computer is just really slow. It's just not the top of the line type of thing. It's a pretty old thing, and it's one that I bought like as is. Like, it's not a rig, it's not a setup, it's not like anything, like, it's just an out of the box thing that I got pretty much like, it was kind of like my backup option too. That I bought it at Fry's Electronics. What a dinosaur, right? They went out of business. Isn't that so sad? Fry's Electronics. Why you go out of business? Alright, let's up this, because this is kind of too small. I had a moment last night where I was panicked. I was working in my workshop. I was working on kind of like setting up this this whole thing for. I'm working on stickers, a sticker order. This has nothing to do with my Etsy. My Etsy's actually like totally blah right now. But I have a friend who is in a band. And he's just like, you know, a old high school buddy-ish, you know, just, he is, like, I think guitar and bassist for, this is so funny, their band name is Crank Lab Explosion, and I think they're black metal. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, he was asking me about PC stuff. Yours could probably stand for a new GPU or something if it's struggling to render as well. It is. It really does struggle to render things, and I had to put it like on the lowest settings that Photoshop would allow me so that I could actually live stream. Which is kind of silly, but you know, it's just, I'm trying to get it to just work and do what it's, you know, supposed to do. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty much exactly it. That's pretty much exactly right. Alright, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a lighter color. We're gonna go more yellow, less saturated, a little bit more tinted. Okay. New layer. We'll combine these eventually. There we go. Okay, so we're just trying to get some more texture, more highlights and stuff in here. Get some more, like, kind of like a painty look too. Like, I like the way that this brush looks. I like these art brushes. I spent some decent money on this particular brush pack. I don't remember what it costed me. It came with a whole bunch of other Photoshop assets. So that thing, it was a pretty decent bundle that I got. I can't remember where I got it though. It was like advertised to me like a couple years ago on like Facebook. I ended up buying it, and it's really awesome. I really totally fell in love with the layer styles and everything that it came with. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Pretty awesome. Okay, so let's kind of get some more of this. We're just gonna blend some more color into it. Okay. Okay. So I'm like, you just kind of want to get in here and color things. Yeah, okay, here we go. We want some more texture and stuff in here. And just make it a little bit more like foliage. Just kind of paint it in real nice. Yeah, so every single time I say this, I know it's practically just a tradition by now, but it's probably gonna be pretty dead tonight because like, I'm like a broken record every time I say this, and then I get this massive raid, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And the reason I say that is because it's officially Friday now, and I don't think anybody was expecting me to last minute just switch it up, switcheroo, a whole hour later, like, you know, so I don't think really many people are gonna make it. And I also haven't really been doing my part on like advertising or anything like that. So that is like pretty much the only like advertising and stuff that I've been doing of my Twitch is that I do actually have it on my business card, which I'm discontinuing my business cards. And what people, yeah, I say that every time, I know, but I just feel it in my heart, you know, every time I just feel like people aren't gonna be here. It's just gonna be us. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to predict, but I don't think. I know I always say that. I sound like a broken record. But it just doesn't seem like people will probably really be here. But you know what? Something I have been noticing though is that I'm always wrong, I know, like every time I say that, but like one of these days I'm gonna be right and it'll probably be today. But anyways, I think that my business cards have been kind of doing great as a means of just kind of like advertising and kind of putting my stuff out there. As far as like my Twitch channel goes, with like on the business card, because people have been like legitimately looking at it and giving me follows while I'm offline, and I feel like that's only because of my business cards at this point, which is so cool. But yeah, those business cards are pretty much gonna be discontinued. because I will be rebranding. But the fun thing about those business cards is the ones that I have currently right now they're kind of like they have, I guess I have a couple of them over there. I'll have to show you because they have my little dragon emblem symbol on them. I'll be right back. Alrighty. They're kind of cool. They have, this is my revamped version. And this obviously is gonna be disappearing kind of soon. I don't think you can really see that with the light and the way that everything looks on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tone that down quite a bit so that you can see it better. Oh, and the green is green screened too. My bad. Whoa, it looks all clear. It's so cool. But anyways, I guess I can't really show you much, huh? But anyways, they're pretty nice. They've got a lot of color on them, and they have like my contact information, of course. They have my Etsy shop. They have my Bitly links because I love Bitly. I like link shorteners. They're really awesome. And so, like, I have my Bitly for my Etsy shop. They have my Bitly for this Twitch. They also have my Instagram handle and my Facebook handle, and that's pretty much it. And then a QR code on the back for just like coupon, like my secret web page. But then also on the front though, I have 6 variations of the same card, and it's almost just kind of like a fun little Easter egg or something like that. They're just a recolor and slight variants of the dragon. Basically, there's a dragon on it. Some of them have blue, some of them are pink, some of them are green, some of them are lineless, some of them have dark lines, and so it's like and one of them is transparent except the heart in the middle is red. So so it's a lot of fun. Like, they're kind of like, I don't think people really know that, like, if you ordered from my shop multiple times, you might get a slightly different variation of the card that you already have. And it's kind of fun, you know? Like, I don't know, it just adds an extra layer of just something. It makes printing the business cards actually kind of fun for me, so that more goodies for your regular customers. Yeah, I mean, like, if they think that it's cool. Also, I love to doodle on the cards. I leave an empty space on the back. There's half a space is taken up by the QR code, and the other half is for a thank you. Just a, you know, name, thank you for your support. And then I like to do a custom doodle, and it's different for every person. So there's something like, it's not, there are none that are just identical. They're all just a little different in their own way, and they're all just totally like, you know, sometimes I'll be really into it and I'll make like a really super fun doodle, and sometimes I just like kind of throw one together. But I feel like it's just I think it just adds kind of a personal touch to the cards, and it kind of helps people, you know, realize that I appreciate them. I also add like little stickers and stuff like that. So it's just little things, you know? It's the little things. I think I take a lot of pride in the stuff that I do for my shop, but we're just going to be doing a rebranding. It's going to be a change. It's not going to be a bad thing. I'll see to it that it's actually going to be a positive thing. It's going to be good. It's going to be alright. And at first, I was really mourning the fact that, like, my fan art and stuff is just not going to work for Etsy anymore. At first, I was kind of really upset about that, but at the same time, I also recognize that it's not sustainable. And, you know, as much as I absolutely love fan art, I love it. I love to do it. It's almost like, you know, to me, in a way, it's like, you know how, like, fan creators and, like, content creators, like, on YouTube and stuff, how they will make, like, videos and things dedicated to, like, their favorite franchises and things like that. When they do that, when they make like their fan videos, like say, you know, like some people are like Pokemon content creators or whatever, um, they go out of their way, and it's kind of like an art form. They do it, you know, just out of interest and everything like that, and just sheer interest for the topic, you know. And that's kind of how I feel about the fan art, but I just, it's not treated the same. And so, you know, like, it's just something that I just like to do because I like the franchises, not out of malice. It's just like a tribute sort of thing. I just really, really like to do fan art. And it's not to like, you know, it's more of a tribute sort of thing. I'm trying to do a step backwards. There we go. Okay, very good. It definitely makes your shop items feel more personalized than something like a big company. So thank you. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm aiming for a little bit. I kind of wanted people to understand that I am literally just one person. I am not like, you know, I'm not like a corporation or anything like that. As much as I can try to look like one, it's like I can't be that. Which is, it's good. I just, you know, I make everything by hand. So, like, I make all those things with my own little hands. And, it's just, yeah, they're kind of all just handmade and kind of unique. And I think that a lot of people really support that. I was actually very, like, shocked and surprised for some reason, because of all the horror stories. I have seen so many horror stories on like Facebook. There are some groups for like Etsy sellers and things like that, and people have talked about like customers, like their customers have kind of like been weird about like how things will look handmade. They might actually not like that, even though they shopped on Etsy. And they'll say things like, oh, this thing has a tiny little defect here, and like this doesn't look like it's made in a factory. And it's like, no, crap, you bought from somebody's handmade shop. Like, that's something to be proud of, and that's maybe something to cherish, because a person made that. And that's the appeal of Etsy. And some people don't really like that, and that's cool too. I mean, some people, everybody likes their own things. You know, nobody has to like the handmade things. Like, maybe some people just don't really trust that, or think that it's made in like, you know, the most regulated way possible. And if they don't like that, that's cool. But you don't really go on Etsy and expect like things to look like, you know, like you know what I mean? Things to look like they're made in a factory. And sometimes they are, though. You do have to specify if you made it with your own hands, or if you outsource. Like, you can outsource things and design it. So there is that too. I think some people expect that sometimes, when that's not really what's going to happen. I don't really know. I don't know enough about that. Yeah, alrighty. So let's get some highlights going on. Yeah, there we go. What if I do on this layer? What if I do like a screen? or a linear dodge. What about color dodge? What does that look like? Color dodge, opacity. Why is it quite like that though? That's what I'm wondering. So this should be kind of, it's possible because it's possible that it's not really interacting right because all of these need to be merged down. Merge a down. Nope, that didn't seem to fix the issue, but that's okay. What if I do it like this? So color dodge on this layer isn't really giving me the layer effects I was expecting. I was definitely expecting something more bright green. Overlay is kind of nice. That looks pretty, I think. What if I just like continuously painting foliage, Wanna become famous by followers and viewers? Click you.com. It's time to ban that user. Goodbye, bot. Where did that bot get here? Yeah, I don't know. Man, I'm gonna have some free time. Dude. I'm actually kind of excited for it because I need some kind of like cleansing or something. Like I need something to like, it'll help me get more sunshine, not feel like such a zombie throughout the day. It'll help me to actually play the games that I've been wanting to play since I got them. It'll help me to just be more tentative during the day instead of really tired like a zombie. This whole thing is not going to be so bad after all, and I'll get to stream more, and I'll get to tune in to streams. Oh my gosh. I literally only have my last orders going out tomorrow. Or today, I guess, technically, because it's past midnight, which is amazing. I like this. It makes it look even more green. Okay, so maybe this overlay is the way to go. Overlay. I like the varying tones and things like that, that I'm kind of, the varying shades, tints, and tones that I'm getting by using the overlay layer, because I was not getting that before, and so now it's looking more alive. It looks good. I like that. I like the overlay thing. Okay, right on. Very cool. I think I kind of want to like bring some of the shadow and stuff up here. Yeah, get some foliage and stuff going on over here. Yeah, very cool. And then I think from there, I'll probably do another overlay layer. Overlay. We'll set it there. And then let's go ahead and grab ourselves like a really deep tone. That looks so purple. Maybe something more brown. Okay, very good. I do like that. Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just start oh man, awesome. Just kind of get some shadow and stuff going on over here, just a little bit. Just something to kind of deepen that. Ooh, I like that. I really like... Everything's just kind of experimental. Like, I never know what to expect. If anyone thinks I should know what to expect, you are sorely mistaken. Because I don't. Art is a journey, and honestly, I'm constantly just learning what I'm doing and just kind of like winging it all the time, dude. All of it is literally, all of it is just winging it. Yeah. I never know what I'm doing. Anybody that pretends that they know what they're doing all the time, too, they're out of their mind. They don't. They don't know. Maybe they do. Hey, so I kind of wanted to make something out of like these. I literally have gold dipped feathers now, Colby. I mean, for Sparrow. You won't believe it. Like, I've got these little gold dipped feathers. Hold on. I haven't opened them yet, but behold. Hold up. All right. Behold. Jingle key quills. There they are. Gold dipped feathers. Lots and lots of them. So, if you want one for like, I don't know, your character. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. I actually just wanted to make something kind of cool that I could like wear. I just wanted to experiment and make myself like a little headband that has like feathers that kind of come out. Excited jingling, yeah. Little gold feathers, yay! But yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. And I got them in. I was like, oh, you know who I think would like this? The creator of Jingle keys. Pretty sure this would go pretty well with all the stuff that you do for your Jingle key. But yes, that's pretty fun. I just thought I would share that with you. Hey, so we have like this big empty space right here. What should we do with that? I can't put the sun there, by the way, because the lighting is over on the opposite side, like right around here. The lighting is just kind of over here, which, by the way, I need to add some like drop shadows from the building, like dynamic lighting coming off the building and everything like that. I need to do. But what do I put here? Why didn't I think about that composition? Why didn't I think about it? Like, I don't know what to do. So, maybe something in the sky? Can you think of anything that would be in the sky? Like, I don't know. Right, where in the sky? On the left, yeah. So on the left over here, yes. That's the empty space that's just not really, I really incorporate it in my composition. So unfortunately, I will need to figure something out there because I really wasn't thinking about it. All right, let's do another layer. And we're just gonna do like possibly something that looks like this out in the distance. And then, yeah, and then we kind of want that to be a little bit like, okay, yeah, there we go. All right, that looks all right. Maybe like a small flock of birds, like the crows in the distance. That would be a funny accent next to the one anthropomorphic one in the foreground. That is a hilarious idea. I actually really like that idea. I was like thinking, you know, like something kind of in the sky, like a silhouette of something. I was like, hot air balloon? No, probably not. I mean, I could do that, but that is brilliant. Oh my god. That is hilarious. I actually really like that. So yeah, let's do that. That's a great idea. I'm gonna go ahead and like paint this stuff in just a bit. Here, like that. And we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna kind of airbrush our way through this. Yeah. Alright, and then brush. And we're just gonna kind of do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, yeah, okay. That actually looks kind of nice right there. Okay, I'm gonna do another layer. This one, I might do another overlay. Possibly. I kind of just want to, like, I don't know, like add a little more dynamic lighting and shadow, and using the overlay, that's really going to help with that. And the violet looks like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right there. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it's kind of like, maybe I kind of want to tone that down just the tiniest bit, perhaps. All right. Looks good. And then I might just on this layer, once again, just add some like that. Yeah. Okay, that's looking kind of correct or right or something. I don't know. I'm covering up his tail just a little bit. Don't worry. I have an eraser tool that I can definitely use to fix that up. There's no big deal. Nothing wrong with that. All right, brush. Come on. You can home in, focus in, and work for me, please. There we go. Alrighty. Got some dynamic lighting. Look at how, like, dynamic that looks. That almost looks convincing to me, almost. Just like, it's like, I don't know, it's a few steps away from convincing. But at any rate, I think personally that it looks good. I didn't like that. In my own opinion, I think it's starting to kind of really come together. I kind of like that there's a little bit of a light coming, and like I can do that. Like I can make it look like it's a little bit lit up. Simply by adding that shadow there, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of saying that, hey, there's a building there that's casting a shadow, but there's also a second source of light that's actually coming from inside this tunnel, which you can see. Yeah, that's fun. A wooden airship carried by a blimp-like balloon would also be in lore, but that'd be pretty complicated to describe. Well, if you want that, you could. We could do that. I feel like that would be kind of fun. What could end up working is I could open up a second Photoshop document, and then we can just play around and kind of like I can, maybe in real time, if maybe next session when we're talking, we can quickly, like, you know, talk to each other and maybe send each other, or maybe you can send me some reference photos and things like that. And we can work on that actively together over Discord. Like, we can actually talk about it while we work on it. That would be really cool. Because yeah, I'm definitely not against that. That would be really awesome if you want to do that. Otherwise, I could even do both. I mean, I need a little something like a push for the composition. I need a little push for the composition because look at how much it's lacking up in that corner over there. So it needs a little something extra just to kind of make it look more convincing. Okay, so then let's go ahead and go over some of this stuff here. And then, yeah, here we go. And then let's go back to the brush. And then I'm going to be using the brush. It's like a way to add that shadow there. Very good. Really good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. I'm just playing around and hoping for the best. We'll see what happens, man. So far, I think I'm doing better than I usually do, so that's a plus in my book. Undo, I messed that up. Oops. Kind of want that to be like a nice hard edge right there. Okay. And then let's go ahead and crank this up a little bit. I must look like a loony person the way that I like bend and look around like a crazy lady. Alright, let's do really soft, subtle brush. Oh, let's get our brush out actually. I was on the eraser, but that's totally okay. Yeah, I must look like a crazy person. I'm always leaning back, looking around at different angles, like a lunatic. Alright. And then making the sounds too, like that, like I'm sure that that's weird to people. Okay. Our party rode one with a hunting expedition to pursue a white griffin. Jingle Keys supervised some of the homunculus crewmates in maintaining the balloon and rope riggings until the ship was destroyed in the fight. I can message you some general idea references, but it'd be a pretty detailed object for background element. Now, if it's in the background and it's a silhouette, just imagine it's really high up in the sky. A lot of the view is obscured. Details won't really be present. It'll be kind of, just imagine like, you know, these trees back here. You see the trees, the way that they're kind of obscured because they are a background element. And kind of the same as the bush, the kind of like where the bushes are fading out a little bit over there, which I could stand to kind of like add a little bit more. Oops. I could definitely stand to add a little bit more like color and detail to that. But you see how it kind of like fades into the background there. That is because it's starting to get kind of obscured by like the lighting and everything. There's lighting surrounding it, and being further back means it's gonna kind of lose some of its detail. So it'll be kind of roughly painted in. I don't need to make it a super detailed thing, but just a little hint, like a little reference, that'd be fun. Yeah, so if we get some detailed references, all I really have to do is kind of make a silhouette out of it and put it in the background. If it's really, really massive, I can make it kind of like a big looking object, but it can also be really obscured by just being so far back. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, I am all for little Easter eggs and things like that. I am all for it. So if you end up wanting to do that, that's totally cool in my book. There we go. Okay. And then which one is the overlay? This is the overlay. Okay, good. So this one in particular, I'm gonna kind of delete a little bit that. Undo some of that. Not all of it, just some of it. Okay. Kind of make it look a little bit more painted there. Very good. Whoa, McQuacken!
2 hearts, 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 2 hearts.
I love that. 2 hearts, 2 hearts, 2 hearts. Wow! Oh my gosh, McQuacken! You amazing, amazing person. Hello and welcome. 2 hearts, 2 hearts, 2 hearts. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man, you're making my night here. That was great. That was awesome. 2 hearts. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you're amazing. Oh man, I could really use that, man. I'm getting over that whole shop closing. Not really closing, just getting rid of all that fan stuff that I kind of have been doing over the past 6 or so years. We're working on another night of Jingle Keys. Woohoo! Jingle Keys. God, I like cry laughed. I'm sorry. I'm like poking my eye in front of you. Oh, you're amazing. Yeah, we're working on Jingle Keys, getting back into the groove of the painting. I feel like taking that week off, it's been kind of nice because it's kind of getting me reacclimated and kind of back into the painting mindset. I kind of started like really losing my ability to focus and stuff, I think, and actually get anything done. I feel like in a lot of my previous sessions, and that's just because like I've just been kind of focused on like all the orders and stuff like that, but now that's not gonna be a problem because the last of them are going out tomorrow, or today technically. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I just did some of the shrubs over here. We're kind of getting some stuff like background distance, and I've been kind of airbrushing and kind of fixing up a little bit of the pathway here. And then we're talking about adding a little something for the composition up here. So we've got actually a few ideas, and since I'm actually kind of already running out of things to do before that, why don't we just work on that tonight? Why don't we actually just get started on that? So Prospero was talking about an airship that he let me know. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and reread what he said. We were kind of thinking for the composition, he was kind of thinking maybe a small flock of birds like crows in the distance. It would be funny next to the one that's anthropomorphic in the one like in the foreground, and then the regular crows in the background. That would be hilarious. And then he also said a wooden airship carried by blimp-like balloons would also be in lore, but that would be pretty complicated to describe. Our party rode one with a hunting expedition to pursue a white griffin. Jingle Key supervised some of the homunculus, I don't know if I'm saying that right, homunculus crewmates in maintaining the balloon and rope riggings until the ship was destroyed in the fight. I can message you some of the general references. It'd be a pretty detailed object. We can figure that out though as we go, I guess. The object doesn't really have to be detailed. Kind of like just imagine. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna name this layer. Let's name it something like I don't know, test. Okay, so somewhere in the background here, if I just kind of take like one of these, just kind of like something like that, all right? And then like I kind of the brush maybe a little bit smaller, but not by much, because a lot of the size and opacity is going to be controlled by my pen pressure. So let's go ahead and just do like a test of the object. So let's just imagine like an airship. Is it gonna work? What is going on here? No way. Are you gonna... Is it gonna work? Oh, I'm an idiot, you guys. Hold on. I'm so stupid. Alright, there we go. I'm so freaking dumb. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. Take 2. Alright, let me just go ahead and grab like image right here. Maybe I can turn off the opacity lock. Alright, let's just let's do like a test. I don't know the shape of the balloon. Let's just say, oh, the balloon is shaped like, or like multiple balloons or something like that. Let's just say, hey, the balloons are kind of shaped like that or something. And the airship is massive, right? Let's just say it's kind of like a ship. And this is just a test. You can, and this is like, honestly, like, this looks like a freaking pirate ship or something, okay? So like, if it doesn't look right, you just, like, you can tell me. It doesn't even have to be final or anything like that, but just imagine, like, kind of like a shape like this. We can make this whatever we want to, by the way. So it does not have to be, like, confined to, like, one particular shape or anything like that. Alright, so then we're gonna just kind of like add like some, like almost like a lookout area, balloons. Alright, and then and then I just kind of like use this, and just imagine that it looks like just kind of like a background object, right? So it's kind of like gonna take on the hues. Oh hey, my bird Yumi is looked better and she healed, but she no longer likes me to grab her, so she never comes around me anymore. Just wondering, can that happen? Sure. Birds are such an interesting creature. They can be so fickle. They're so complex in their ways of like thinking and their ways of socializing. They're very complex creatures. They're very intelligent too. They're a lot like people, really. So I don't know. I'm sure it can happen. I'm sure that you know, maybe she had something wrong with her and she knew that you would be able to help her, but maybe she's just not very social. Some birds just aren't really very social. Like I have an Indian ringneck and he's just never, he landed on me the other day and everything, but like, Miss Robin, hiya. You are here. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm kind of like painting like a test sort of object, and this is like supposed to be just kind of something that, just based on my brother's loose description of like a flying airship, like a literal pirate ship or something. It's honestly just play right at this point, because I've kind of run out of things to do, but I want to add some stuff in the composition over here. Kind of like that, maybe just a tad smaller to avoid cluttering. I also messaged you some reference pictures. Here we go. Yeah, this is awesome. That way we can add some more composition, something else too. Alright, so we got some pictures to work with now. Very good. Oh, I see. So that's kind of, oh, okay. And then there's a random flying turtle creature. I don't what? I don't know what that one is. Okay. So I kind of like Like the one that almost looks like a Zeppelin, like an airship that's kind of like Oh, okay, well I guess I just have to keep trying to bond again. But yeah, in the background it looks pretty cool, thank you. So what do you think about the Zeppelin one? Or would you rather have like 2 or multiple rounded ones? So I was kind of, yeah, like I can definitely size this down because this is all on one layer. And watch this. We can just size it down. And then we can also switch up the opacity. We can always size it down and then like we can kind of switch it up so that it's like, we can set the opacity down. We can also change this to like a different layer style. Different layer styles will interact with the stuff underneath a little bit differently, just depending on what you select. I kind of like that violet looking because it contrasts with the background, so I might end up doing that. And then just possibly just painting over it. I like that subtract though, that's kind of neat. Doesn't look bad to me. Alrighty, and then yeah, that's definitely a way to do it. I could always do it this way. Yeah, I don't know, with your bird, they're so complicated, really. I mean, they're just like people. You never know, like, really, what to honestly expect when it comes to birds and little bird children. Let's kind of like zoom in here and let's do some birds too. Let's do a little pattern of just flying birds. Now hold on. It looks like my camera disconnected, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to reconnect that. It's a little frozen. Oh, it looks like it died. I don't know when it died, but it definitely did. So, but I can get that fixed up. No issues at all. Looks like camera's no go for just a few seconds though. Here, hold on. Let me just plug this in as I trip over some cords and things. All right, I need to unplug some stuff to plug it in. All right, let's give it a sec to charge up before I reboot it. Okay, so you said, I think the Zeppelin design one looks it seems more accurate if my memory is right. And the winged creature is homunculus. That's a fun name. I kind of like that. Alright, seeing the thumbnail view in OBS, it's kind of looking like it's coming together. There's like a good contrast of colors in there. I'm actually kind of liking it. Yeah, that's pretty chill. I like it so far. Alright, let's try this again. We're gonna get started on this again. Looks like it's on, maybe. There it is. It's just, alright, device. Connection successful, setup live, other RTMP. You can't do it, you can do it. You can do it. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, there it goes. Connect. So speaking of GoPro, like the GoPro that I use, alright. Good. Is it working? You alright? We're back? Yes! We're back! There we go. Okay. GoPro is like dropping the ball big time, man. They're putting out more updates. Just to kind of do the planned obsolescence type of updates, which are just dreadful in my opinion. People can say what they will about planned obsolescence. I've heard a lot of arguments for it, but I am 100% against it. I am the most frugal person who always wants to hold on to the same piece of tech and just like reuse it, and it shouldn't be obsolete based on some kill update. It shouldn't be killed. It shouldn't be like stuff like that. Like once you buy a piece of hardware, you should expect it to work. Man, I hate planned obsolescence. It's awful. And they're trying to do it artificially through updates, through kill updates. So it's kind of crappy. I think the Zeppelin design one, I already read that. Okay, so that one is the more correct one. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to use the test layer. We're gonna use that. This is going to work as a kind of like a color grabber sort of thing. All right, so I'm gonna use that as like a color use thing, or color, I don't know, just something to steal the palette from. That's all. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we are going to look at the picture, the one. All right, there we go. Hold on, let's see. 2 airship designs. Ours was probably closer to the first, and homunculus crewmate for fun. They're basically magic servants animated from clay, and they're dumb as rocks. Oh my god, that's so funny. It did now. It did now. I can't think of a single ethical reason for it. There's no reason someone that paid to own a piece of hardware shouldn't be allowed to use it for as long as they maintain it in good condition. And I agree with you. There are arguments that are for planned obsolescence, though, that I personally don't agree with. And they're more to do with like, I think it's disgusting, because I think it's actually very bad for the environment, because in doing that, they're pumping out more and more and more, but their only things for it are like, oh, it keeps the economy moving and it keeps people employed, you know, jobs and stuff. I don't think that's a good enough argument. I personally don't think I think that jobs can be found in anything, and you can make jobs for horrible, horrible purposes that are ultimately, now we're starting to get into like politics and stuff here, which is a lot of people, you know, probably not gonna wanna, but like, I just think that jobs, just having jobs is not a good enough reason. You can be inventive and continuously create and try to strive to do better and better, but the planned obsolescence thing it's hot garbage. It's corporate greed. I don't think there's anything okay with it. I actually learned that the first recorded case of planned obsolescence was with the first light bulbs, when they started actually manufacturing those. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna kind of do like the airship. So yeah, I'm gonna do like the Zeppelin looking one. All right. I've never drawn a Zeppelin before, so I don't know what I'm doing. Bear with me. Okay? Bear with me. We're gonna do like some kind of airship blimp thing. Okay. I kind of want to give it, can I give it like a sail, like a fin thing? Like something that looks like that, but not quite like that, just a kind of really crappy shaped version of it. Okay. Okay, something like that. Okay, so that's kind of like that looks like a fish. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'll definitely kind of like give it like better detail, I guess. I don't really know. We'll figure it out. I'll go in there and yeah, we'll get that all figured out. No worries at all. And then I'll be able to size this down, of course, if this is not quite the right type of size. but I am going to start drawing the actual ship now. Okay. Alright, gentle brush strokes, just like that. Okay, and then, okay. Alright, yeah, I'm starting to become very suspicious of anyone that uses the economy as a defense for something, because basically 10 out of 10 times it's something simping for companies doing immoral or unethical BS. I agree with you. It's always something like that. It's, you know, if we're gonna talk like politics, essentially, like, if you really think about it, like, it's kind of like, you know, Trump with the wall, and people talking about, like, building the wall is creating jobs or something. I don't remember what was going on with that. There was this whole stupid debate, which I hated. I thought it was, like, the dumbest debate ever. And honestly, it was just something like, they were doing something dangerous, or I can't remember what was going on. I don't really follow politics too much. I just know that, like, this was probably half a year ago or something, and they were just, like, doing something, and the whole argument was that, like, oh, it creates jobs for people, and it's like, no, what you're doing is dangerous and bad for the environment, and what you're doing is, like, I can't remember what it was. It was like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't think the jobs thing is a good enough answer. I feel like people this day and age can really, like, there are a lot of startup things, there are a lot of companies you can work for. There's a lot more jobs on the market, a lot more than there ever was, and you can choose to work for somebody or for something. I just don't think it's a good argument in a lot of cases. I just know that there are a lot of opportunities that are out there now that weren't before, and now, even with the pandemic and everything, remote jobs have become so much more possible and obtainable and everything now. Like, it never really was. I don't know. Like, I know it's difficult when you're, like, worried about, like, the economy crashing, and, like, you know, it sometimes is difficult to actually find places that are hiring during a recession. It can be very, very difficult, especially somebody who has lost their job and everything like that. That does happen. It does. I'm not denying that it happens. It really does happen. It's a very real thing. But it's just, I just don't think that it really warrants some of the less ethical business decisions and things that just continue to happen. That is a fucking fish. I just said a bad word. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, I don't mean to go off on politics, chat. But I also think most decent people are on the same page these days about stuff like that. Like, that's not okay. I agree. I kind of wish okay, so, like, this is gonna sound nuts, but, like, I was kind of doing a lot of research and stuff about planned obsolescence, and I learned a whole lot of stuff about the subject. And it's a very fascinating subject. But there's, like, some stuff about it that it's like, I kind of want to fix this up. There's something about this that just doesn't look right. We're gonna look up some Zeppelins. Alright, we're gonna look up some Zeppelins, and we're just gonna kind of gather some ideas to make it not look like a giant flying fish. Yeah, so You'd be surprised though, when I was looking into planned obsolescence, there are a lot of very educational videos and educational content on the subject. But one thing that I think is very fascinating is a lot of people talk about like the origins of planned obsolescence. And then there's talk about like why planned obsolescence is good. And that's pretty much the argument that I've heard. And pretty much every source that I've listened to in some form or fashion has kind of simped for the planned obsolescence thing. And I think it is grimy, I think it's bad, I think it's gross, and I think that hardware should remain usable until it's like just not possible anymore. I guess with light bulbs, that was the first recorded instance of it, and what they did was they made them like able to last, I think, like 1,000 hours or something like that at first, and then they were like, yeah, you kind of need to be making more money, like the company needs to be making more sales. So they're like, yeah, like they hired some people to come in and like have the life expectancy of the bulbs, so then the ones that they started producing started going out in half the amount of time that they used to force people to buy twice as many light bulbs because they were dependent on them. Light bulbs were you know, they were big back then. It was either candle lighting or light bulbs, and so they were just forcing people to depend on their light bulbs. It was just horrible. It's very sad. Zeppelin. Images. I see it. All right, that looks like some kind of like Zeppelin, some airships. They look kind of like, okay, I'm kind of seeing it. They look kind of like a little bit like a missile. And I'm gonna go ahead and, yes, it is so gross. It's disgusting. That was the first recorded case of planned obsolescence. And this has been a thing since corporations have really taken hold of things that are kind of necessities. It's just like utilities and things like that. It's just, I don't like it, but sometimes, and in recent times, it's become more and more obvious, especially when they're using literal software updates to kill off hardware. Or to make it not work as intended initially because they've decided to pull the plug because they're releasing the next thing and they want people to buy the next thing, buy the subscription, buy all of that stuff. I think it's really gross, and GoPro has been doing that. I actually made it so that I rolled back to the old version of the app and I blocked their updates so they can't update anymore. Because as you know, around like pretty close to Christmas, I think it was like sometime in November, they were really pushing their next GoPro. I think it was like the GoPro Hero 9, and it has live streaming capabilities, like the one that I'm using, GoPro Hero 7 Black. That's the one that I'm using. It has live streaming capabilities. So they wanted people to buy the new live streaming one, right? So the old live streaming one, they updated the app to mysteriously make it malfunction. And coincidentally, they're pushing out the next model that supports live streaming. Wow. So what can you make of that? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, the app is just malfunctioning. I'm just going to assume the best intent. They'll get it fixed. I kind of harassed them a little bit on Twitter, and they pushed back. They pushed back on it. They weren't acknowledging any kind of bug or anything like that. They were pushing back. So I was just like, what is going on? Like, you know, like what could possibly be the reason that they are pushing back on this? Oh, it's probably that they don't want you to actually successfully live stream on the old versions. So, you know, and so then they pushed out another update that didn't actually fix the feature. It took it back and locked it behind a subscription paywall. So now I know what's going on, and I think it's absolutely repulsive. And guess what? They can't get my subscription because they have their updates blocked. So now I have the old version of the app. They have no way of accessing what I have now. And on all of my other devices, I can actually package the APK, and then I can put the APK on my other devices and also block updates so that they can't do that anymore. It's gross. It's really repulsive to me. I'm just not cool with it, you know what I mean? Like, all right, so this is kind of like the Zeppelin that I'm looking at. I don't know if I should really be adding more stuff to it. Maybe I could. Maybe I should. I'm not really sure. And then we're gonna look at adding like what's that piece again? Like the bow or something. I guess this is the bow right here or something. I'm not really sure. I'm not versed in these types of things. But it's gonna be so much fun. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, here we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this, and we're gonna just kind of shape this out a little bit better. Shape it. Good. Okay, and then let's see here. We're just gonna go back. I'm gonna keep looking at like Zeppelins and things. Okay. I think I'm kind of like confident. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. I'm confident in what I'm about to do. I'm not really sure if you like the texture that's going on here, but I'm kind of putting the texture on here a little bit. We're just kind of expressing creative freedom. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. This is a lot of fun. Okay, very good. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, so I'm pretty upset at GoPro for being kind of shisty, for lack of a better term. And the fact that they were like really kind of like digging their heels on it too, I was just like, that's kind of weird. What a weird response to like what a weird response to a bug report. Am I right? Like, I knew what was going on. And I think that they knew that I knew what was going on. Alright, so let's kind of see, like... This is so much fun, painting this. This is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying myself. Let's go ahead and grab this, and we're gonna go... Okay. I'm quacking. What is the? Oh, what's? Oh, what? What does that say? Does that say hype? Is that the hype one? Yeah, hype. Woo, hype. I'm so blind. I'm sorry. Yeah, hype. Woo. And then let's see. Let's see. So I'm kind of thinking like this. I feel like I could probably add a little bit more like sort of like a lookout tower sort of thing, just kind of in the midsection right here where it kind of connects. Maybe 2 lookout towers that kind of go up and connect. So, something like this. And it's not going to be complicated, just trust me on this one. So we're going to just kind of map out where these little lookout spots are going to be. Alright, so then now I can use the this little thing. Let's go ahead and make this a smaller eraser, but we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna just kind of like make these a little bit more shapely. Okay. I need more music for my playlist. I might go music hunting tomorrow, maybe? Perhaps. We get to see you this weekend. That's gonna be awesome for Sparrow. It's gonna be great. Having you and Bing Smoko over. It's gonna be really cool. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of like connect this, just the slightest bit. Alright, and then we're gonna make some really, really tiny brush strokes. We're gonna grab like a dark color here, and then we're just gonna go. Something kind of like that. So, looking good. I do remember there being metal parts, like the bands around the balloon in the first reference pic. Some pieces flew off, and I don't know the. And JK. Dang, I forgot to find more music. I don't even know what would be fitting to get right. Well, if it does, I mean, all they really do is just kind of like mute music. I'm not like, you know. And if they give me a warning that's more severe, then I'm gonna do something. You know, I respond to warnings. It's fine. No biggie. All right, so now let's see. Also, we can change the way that this interacts. So we can kind of like screw around with like that linear burn looks kind of nice. Darker color looks kind of nice. All right. Luminosity. How's that look against normal? Normal looks pretty alright. I could always lower the opacity. But I feel like the colors are pretty much spot on. Alright, so let's look at the metal parts that you're talking about, because this is gonna be bands around the balloon in the first. Oh, okay. Let me check back at that first reference picture. I'm just gonna kind of throw this. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, yeah. So I can try to add that. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and zoom in. We're gonna go back to 100%. And then we're just gonna kind of get rid of the test layer because that doesn't need to be there. Okay. So now we're looking at. Okay, I see. I kind of also see that the that this kind of has like wings on it, like the airship itself, like the ship has some kind of like little wings on the side there. I can definitely do that as well. Let's look at this. All right. So then we're gonna go ahead and take the size of this. We're gonna bump it up once again. Let's bump up the size on that. All right, there we go. Okie dokes. I don't really want to. Just kind of like a really careful. I don't know if you want that there. Just let me know if that's not something that you want, but I can always remove it. Okay. All right. And then another, oops. All right, so then another piece of that though, we're looking at those bands, those metal bands that are around the edge there. So let's do like maybe a multiply. Alrighty. Let's actually kind of size that down just a bit. Right there, okay. Not that far down. I still kind of want a little bit of like messy. Alright. So we're gonna kind of work on it like that. Okay, we're good, we're good. Okay. And then okay. And then we can do this. Alright, so here's what I've got so far. Alrighty. Okay, so this is kind of gonna be like, this isn't gonna be this dark, it's not gonna stay this dark. But here's what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna go normal. We're gonna kind of go over these bands just a little bit more again. We kind of want these to be like real faint. Details shouldn't be too prominent out in the distance like this. So stuff like this shouldn't be terribly noticeable from a distance. Alright, so then let's go back to multiply. Like that. So kind of okay. We're gonna upsize this, we're gonna upscale it just a bit. Alrighty. Alright, so let's look at it from the distance. 30. Right on. I am so glad. Now I feel like I could probably do a little bit more with these. Okay. So kind of something like that, I think. And then we can also edit the opacity. We can make it kind of blend in to the background a little bit more. And we can relocate it just a little bit if we want to. So wherever we want to put this airship, I feel like kind of somewhere up in the distance like that, maybe. We could do opacity. We can kind of like edit the opacity. We can also kind of, let's do a layer, an adjustment layer. And then let's do something like a color lookup. Okay. And we're gonna clip it down. We're gonna create a clipping mask. Okay. And then we're gonna start kind of like sifting through some of these so that I can decide what's going to really look best. Kind of thinking somewhere like violet. All right, so we're just gonna keep looking through some of these. I think kind of like a color that looks like that, but I feel like this, I can edit how it interacts with the layer. Okay. It's kind of something that makes it look like a lot more light and bright. Wow, that looks like dark and metal and creepy almost. What if I did these and then I lowered the opacity of like this layer? I don't know how you feel about that. What do you think? I kind of like that. Alrighty. Okie dokes. So then let's kind of like put this. Kind of want it to just look like, I don't know, something about it just feels like out of place, I think. Maybe let's go like 15% to really look at that thumbnail view and see how it reads. I might want to like, I have an idea. We're gonna try something out, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's not worry about it. I'm gonna try something out though. Let's put these together in a group. We're gonna name this Original Zeppelin. I don't know if I spelled Zeppelin right, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, now let's duplicate this. Duplicate group. Okay. Right on, thanks. So here's what we're gonna try. This is kind of experimental, but I kind of want to convey that it's like a pretty big ship, and we can like kind of just like, you know, I don't know, we can put it kind of in the background like this, and then watch while I. All right, so we're gonna take this and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go boop. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go like this as well. Okay? We're gonna select this spot right here. Then we're gonna go refine edge. And we're gonna go feather. Okay? We're gonna feather it. There are a couple ways to go about doing this. So feather is a pretty good way. Let's do shift edge out so that it kind of affects like right there. Okay? Now we have that selected. Okay, and then let's try something. Let's try. I don't know how well this is gonna go, but there are a couple ways that I can actually go about this right now. The first one is we don't want it to be that strong of delete. So perhaps if I duplicate this. No. See, now I want this to create a clipping mask right there. Okay, and on this one, I want to go delete. Delete. And then this one. Yeah, no, I don't think I really like that one very much. All right, so let's Control Z, 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 Z. Okay. So there's another thing that I can do. What is this layer? Nothing? Okay, so then there's another thing that I can do to kind of make that fade a little bit into the background. And that would be layer. We can always do exposure. Alright, gamma. And of course I want this clipped as well. So we're gonna clip this. Create a clipping mask. Just want that gamma correction down. Offset up. Offset up exposure. Oh. So what do you think of something like that instead? So that it doesn't look so tacked on. It's more incorporated into the background. And then doing this, we can set the opacity here so that you kind of like know what that is. Of course, you know what that is, but it's not like, you know, it's a little subtle. So let me know what you think of that. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this copy and we can move it around wherever we want, like right there. I feel like that looks a lot. What's the difference? I had to AFK for a sec. Okay, so this version, let's actually zoom into 30% so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so this is the edited version, and this is the original version. So the edited version is a little bit larger, but it's also kind of more incorporated into the background. It looks a little bit less tacked on. So it kind of gradients out, if you can kind of see. As opposed to that. So we've got this. Oh, the opacity, I like it. Good, okay. That's good, That is a positive thing. Alrighty, so now we can start working on, I guess, the birds. The little birds flying around and stuff. So let's go ahead and do that then. I think that'll be fun. Yeah. We have 15 more minutes on the clock, and that should be enough to finish most of this. The last finishing touches I want to look at are just kind of surrounding Jingle Keys himself in the way that he interacts with the background. So let me show you what I'm talking about before I get started on the birds, and I'm gonna have to look up reference pictures of like birds in a flock in the sky, and I think that'll be fun. I've never done that before, so I always have to look up references and I have to internalize it and understand what I'm looking at, because it's just part of the art thing. I don't directly copy, but I do look at reference images and just kind of digest what I'm looking at and try to put it on the canvas in my own way. And sometimes that can be a challenge. It's kind of like when I was painting the mountains for my my Twilight Dragon. I didn't know what I was doing, painting a sunset. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning these things as I'm going, and it's so important. Okay, so let's look up. But I kind of wanted to show you the way that this interacts with the background. So you can kind of see like these crunchy little white lines here, and just the way that he was just extracted from like a white background just haphazardly. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go in there and I'm gonna have to manually brush, but let me tell you, it's not as much work as it sounds. It sounds like a lot more work. I can definitely spend a lot of time doing it if I want to. But it shouldn't be too bad, especially like up here. I might want to fix kind of like his jawline, kind of fix a little bit of that. That's easy stuff. That's just going in and just airbrushing and digital painting, essentially. That's not hard. Yeah, so just kind of like looking at, like, this is so subtle, I'm sure, but like look at how crunchy and gross and disgusting that looks. And like this down here, and then like up, like you can kind of really just see, and it just does not interact with the background too well. He doesn't stand out correctly. So there's a lot to be done still in that department, and that disgusting line right there, I hate it. But yeah, so there's still definitely more to do. And you can kind of see here how I like painted over in the background and how it kind of goes up over his tail. I actually like that a lot because it's kind of, it looks like bounce light, like light that, like photons, if you think of photons interacting with an object, You might notice things kind of like if you have a white piece of paper, you set down a white piece of paper, right? And then you set down a green ball on that white piece of paper. You're gonna kind of get a little bit of a mixing in between the two. So like on the white paper, you're going to see some green, and on the white or on the green ball, you're gonna kind of see it look a little bit lighter. That's the bounce light. So it's photons that are bouncing onto objects, scattering, hitting other objects, and the wavelengths from the object that it hits actually transfers onto other objects and reflects onto them. So that's bounce light. So I think that looks really nice, kind of the way that I painted over the background, and it just kind of lands on his tail. So that's probably something that I would want to just kind of roll with, you know, and maybe add a little bit more on that. Let me think. Alrighty, so I was gonna paint some birds. Let's do flock of birds in the sky. We're gonna look up reference images of flocks of birds in the sky. Flock of birds in the sky. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just 30 that until we look at some pictures. Images. How about flocks of crows? Flock of crows in sky. Or murder of crows, I guess would be what it's called, right? Oh, that's so cool. That looks pretty. Oh my gosh, these images are great. I kind of want, you know, face in the same direction. I think that this reference image is kind of a really nice one. I'm not really too familiar with drawing flighted birds, but I'm happy to learn things, so we're gonna give it a try. We're just gonna give it a try. So I'm seeing all kinds of pictures on here. It's really hard to decide what to use to really focus on as my reference. So I want them to kind of look... So when I look at like the composition of these, it almost looks like... I have an idea. We're gonna take this, and downsize that just a bit. Multiply. I don't know if I want it on multiply. Do I want it on multiply? How does this look? Oh, okay. Control Alt Z. There, okay. Alright. Let's kind of do, okay, so just the way that it looks to me is almost like the way that you focus in on the birds, you almost see like a scattered array of just sort of random lines. You see like one prominent mark for each bird in almost like a kind of a random direction. It almost looks like runes or something. So here's what I'm gonna try to do. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I really look forward to this. Okay. I don't like that one right there. For some reason, it looked like it just screwed with the composition a little bit. Okay, so let's just kind of throw that in there. Okay, so we're gonna put down more confident marks now. Okay, let's do like some angled ones. There, okay. Alright. Okay. Angled. So some of them are kind of angled, but most of them are kind of just holding out their wings. So that's kind of like how a lot of them are flying. So we're just gonna kind of get these marks in here, and we're just gonna kind of make them a little bit more prominent. This one guy here is just gonna be bending his wings, right? Okay. And then, alright, so there. Okay, so it kind of looks like crazy confetti right now. But then when we go in there and we start to really refine the silhouettes a little bit, I think then it'll start to look a little bit more like birds. I might want to add another bendy wing right there, so we kind of know, like, so that in our heads we kind of know what we're looking at just a little bit. Okay. Okay. So we have some birdies in the sky right now. Okay. Little birds, little birds. So I'm gonna take this picture. It's a really high contrast, just a really high contrast image. I just want to see the image itself, please. Let me look at the image. All right. Wow, this is a really good reference picture because they've kind of almost subtracted the sky, so you really just see the silhouettes and almost just the composition of the markings. I almost kind of should really just be adding some really small ones that are kind of like, you don't want to edit those ones in the distance. You just let them be specks. Okay? So, all right. So they have very fanned looking tails. Can I look at this picture, please? Holy mackerel. View image. Thanks. There we go. Okay. So I don't know how well you can actually see this, but here's my reference picture. It's literally just, let's turn this off a sec. My screen's kind of ick. But, all right, so that's kind of my reference picture. So we're just gonna be kind of looking at, like the shapes of the birds and everything like that. So we're just gonna go in there and I guess fix that up, and we don't really have a whole lot of time left. We've got like 5 minutes, so we'll see how far I get with that one in particular. So let's name this layer birds. Flock. I don't know, let's just call it flock. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and zoom in. We're gonna zoom in 100%. Okay. Back to 100% zoom. And then I'm going to make the size of the brush a lot smaller. Okay, so we're really gonna focus on like just the shape of the wings. So the shape of the wings is kind of like, okay, and then we're gonna kind of and then we want like a big fanned tail. Okay, so this is gonna look kind of sloppy, but I just go in there with the brush, or with the, not the brush, with the what's that thing called? An eraser. Go in with the eraser, and then we can get some finer details, like the individual feathers that are kind of coming off of it. So we're gonna kind of go in there with this really small, a lot smaller than that, smaller sized. All right, smaller sized eraser. And then we can really get in there and like actually kind of like manipulate the shape just a little bit. So we've kind of got like these blurry little silhouettes, but we don't want to like spend too much time on that, right? We don't want to like spend too much time on each individual bird. So we've got one bird down, right? And then we've got all those other birds to go. Just imagine, we've got more painting to do. We've got probably one more session before this thing is complete, and then we're good to go. Just check this out, man. See, we've got like one bird right there, but we've still got so much more to go. And then we can do layer styles to make it kind of look like it's blending in a little bit more. So there we go. There's one bird. We're gonna keep going. We've got like 2 minutes left. I don't know how many I can do in that time, especially since I keep yapping, right? All right, 100%. Who knows? Who knows? All right, we're gonna just keep doing that. We're just gonna keep doing different angles. So like, I'm gonna kind of look at like some of the angles of these birds. So that's a tail right there, right? So that's a tail. And then we've got wings that are coming out like this, and just the head. So we've got the tail up here. So we're just doing varying positions and shapes and stuff like that. So this is gonna look pretty sick when we're done. I think it's gonna look more like birds, right? It's gonna look more like birds. Okay, so that one's probably fine the way that it is. I'm loving it all so far. Good, thank you. That means everything to me. Okay, so let's see here. How do we interpret this one? This one's like a wing, like this crow is just kind of like going this direction, right? And we're just gonna we've got a tail coming out over here. Once again, we've got a tail. Okay. Okay, and then we've got the head. Okay, tail. Oh, so much fun doing the flock of birds. I wasn't expecting this to be kind of a fun little thing. We've officially hit 2 a.m., but let me just go ahead and finish up this little guy right here, this particular bird, because he deserves to be finished and complete before we cut the live stream. This is a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. I'm actually really enjoying painting a flock of birds. Who knew? Who knew, right? I like varying things. I don't like to make the same stuff over and over. I like to branch out and try new stuff. Okay, so we've got a couple of birds now. I kind of want to like get rid of part of this wing so that it looks a little bit more angled properly. So let's go ahead and 30% that. Now we're gonna look. All right, so we have 3 birds down so far. We did that, I don't know, record time, I guess. I don't know. Let's go ahead and save this project. Yeah, we did a lot tonight. Look, we did the Zeppelin thing in the background. We did your airship. We did kind of like the pathway, did all the lighting, the cascading looking shadows that are kind of coming off of that building right there. Nice little bush row. I don't know if I'm finished with that. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And then some birds. Wow, like progress. That's great. I like the birds. Oh, thank you. We'll be doing some more of those soon. So like, it really helps me to visually just grab a reference, look at it, think about it, and just kind of like visualize it from like, okay, what is the most prominent part of this? What is the most like prominent part of the composition of what I'm looking at? Like, I'm trying to absorb it mentally and just kind of understand how it works. And so I think that I got it, but I still need to kind of like dart and look at the reference. But I'll have it ready for next time. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this picture because it's really gonna help me. Let's go ahead and save it. Yes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And all right, so you said, I don't know if I've asked, but when this is completed, do you mind if I share the art and possibly tag the original group members on Facebook? I think they might appreciate it. I'm not sure if you'd rather keep it on your profiles. I really don't care. Share it as much as you want. Download it, re-upload it. I really have nothing against people doing that with any of my art. You know, all that really matters to me is like people don't try to take it as their own and say, hey, I did this. That's the only thing. That and people selling my art, like monetizing it. Except for like if it's in like featured in a YouTube video or something like that, I don't care about that. but I do care about like people basically trying to sell, like if they took this and tried to make it a prank or something. That would peeve me a little bit. That has happened before, and I that does peeve me. But I know that's not what you're doing. You're literally just tagging the people. I think that's great, and I'm all for it, and I think you should do that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, and I hope that your groupies like this too, because I can imagine maybe them looking at it or talking about it or something really neat. It'd be pretty cool to see your groupies, your D&D people looking at this and talking about it. It'd make me feel so good, you know, like it makes me feel so special. I'll be sure to credit and link your art page and obviously not monetize it. You're so sweet, brother. I know that you wouldn't do any of that stuff. You wouldn't do anything that's kind of like, you're always so respectful, and I know that you would like link and everything. Like I know you, and I know how like you're just good like that. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody's really streaming at this time, but maybe I should give it a look and see if we should raid somebody. We don't have anybody. We have like 3 members. If I don't see anybody streaming that I follow right offhand, then I'm just gonna call it a night and just say it's all good. I'm sure everybody wants to get some sleep anyways. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, I'm just seeing recommended channels. Unfortunately, nobody that I know is currently streaming, so I'm gonna have to call it a night. You guys have a super amazing night. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.